All right. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. It's been, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Um, it's been a minute doing a YouTube live, and granted, don't watch it, but it feels good to just do it and see what comes of it, right? I said I've been really working on the TikTok channel, and it's been a good experience. It's been a good experience. The smaller bites work, people like that, but the long form content, that's my home, that's my comfort, that's my space where I can just ramble about, well, maybe 1 to 2 times a year. I go to Starbucks. It's usually during the holiday season, and I get a holiday drink, usually like a hot chocolate. I never really was a fan of Starbucks. I only go there if that's just what it is. That's the only thing there. I used to like the carts in the city. I have my cart guy. I like the coffee. I like the tea. I want to support not the little man. I want to support the small business. That's dollar coffee. That's all I need, right? Dollar. I don't need big ass. It's too much. It's $1. Tip a little bit when I can. I got two today, and I was thinking about why the one got two, but also just this really being the only time of year where I'll drink something like this extravagant, elaborate, um, a caffeinated drink, I guess. And earlier I was drinking. I was going back and forth. I was drinking. I'm like, yo, this shit is good. And it hit me the sugar. And I was thinking about like sugar being my real first addiction. I used to eat sugar packets, right? Syrup on everything, syrup on eggs, syrup on yo hot chocolate, mounds and mounds of sugar. I love sugar. I talked about the box of Snickers that I was supposed to sell, like what 30 bars, 27 bars that I ate over the course of a weekend. And I say this loosely, like in another life, another experience, right? If I didn't have, I don't know, I don't know. Like maybe if I didn't exercise, right? If I didn't always have that innate desire to exercise, my body would be different. Maybe I'd be riddled with not riddled. I don't like that word. Maybe I'd be unhealthier. Maybe I'd have diabetes. Maybe I'd be overweight. Maybe I'd have a food addiction, right? But it manifests, like I say. I think addictive personality. The addiction is manifest into different things. That's all it is. That was the thought for this initially. Been a minute, so I'm still paranoid about stuff not working. I gotta make sure because it happens. It happens, right? All right. It's been an interesting month, 2 months. I can't remember the last time I did this. Um, a lot of it has kind of been like the black experience for me, and really thinking about maybe becoming obsessed with it. That's what the 366 days of motivation, spirituality, and creativity, Black Excellence calendar and journal is just wanting to put it out, put the information out there, put the story out there. There is vast history. And I know more of it's coming to light. but it still doesn't feel monumental enough, or it isn't receiving enough attention that makes it feel monumental enough that it will truly captivate and redefine the Black experience. Yesterday, I went to go see King Richard, the movie about Serena and Venus Williams' father, Rick Williams, Rick Richard Williams. Phenomenal movie. I think maybe I saw a clip of it and I was like, this doesn't look too good. It was a phenomenal movie. IMDb 7.6 out of 10. Let's see. Budget 50 million. Opening weekend. Gross worldwide is just 8 million. It came out. When did this premiere? Excuse me. Give me the date. Why just can't give me the date when the movie premiered? Nope. Alright, so it premiered September 2nd, the Telluride Film Festival. And the release date, I guess, is the official release date, September 2nd, 2021. Oh, that took a lot. And two thoughts. One thought I posted about last night on TikTok, and a new thought is thinking about the situation that Venus Williams was in. And I mean, spoiler, but not really spoiler. If you know the story, I didn't, but if you know it, spoiler. So one perspective, while watching the movie, there's scenes where King Richard, stands up for his daughters. I think they Crips in Compton, and he gets beat down, he gets pulverized. Actually, before that, 3 thoughts. Thinking about when I go to theaters to watch when I watch it's hard to phrase this. When I go to the theater to watch Black movies that are not about violence or drama, or, negative drama. When I go to the theater to watch movies about Black life drama, Black love, most of the time, majority of people in the theater are white. This is in New York, out here in Denver. The culture, the experience tells you that you're not being represented. Right? It tells you that you're the victim. But you don't realize that there are movies that come out showcasing a different aspect of the Black experience. And the reality is that no one shows out for that. It's Will Smith. How can a Will Smith movie, right, being who Will Smith is and what he represents to the Black experience, why aren't Black people piling in money like they did in Avengers and all the goofy shit, Right? Where's the love for Serena and Venus Williams? People tweet and do the easy work of showing support and love. You know, and like I said, I saw the initial clip and I wasn't interested. But, AMC does $5 Tuesdays, and I'm like, I'm going to go see something. And I was on HBO Max, and I saw the movie there, and I was like, I could watch it here. But I wanted to put my dollars. I wanted to invest in their story. I wanted to invest in the Black experience. Regardless of the outcome. I expect it to be good. Will Smith is a great actor. I expect it to be good. I'm here to support Will Smith for supporting the Black experience. I'm here to support Venus and Serena Williams for wanting to support and advance the Black experience. So when I watch the movie and I see the violence from all levels of Blackness, right? You don't think the white people watching it, that's why they don't see themselves as victims. Because when they watch stories about the Black experience, right, the ones that are life dramas, the life drama ones, where it's just a man trying to do right for his family in the hood, the main oppressor they see in those movies are the Black people. That's part of it. It's part of it. It's one aspect of it. It's a condition. It's conditioned. Why wouldn't that movie sell out? Why isn't it being marketed more? Will Smith just dropped his biography. Even if you don't read, go watch a movie and support. Go watch a movie and support. Another thought while watching the movie was the realization of representation. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, all the movies about, not all, the majority of Black movies that were central to the Black experience from LA, Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, all they show you was the violence, the plight, murder, the danger, the fear of the Black experience, the trauma, right? But what this movie does, right, it shows you that while all of that was going on, while all of that was part of LA's reality at that time, within the same spaces, within the same community, there was a man pushing his daughters to be the best in the world. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful to think about. The diamonds in the rough, right? There's a way to get out. There's a way to get out. Everyone doesn't have the answer. Everyone doesn't have their own solution. But it should create that inspiration, right? All it was the plan. All it was the plan. He had the plan. King Richard had the plan. Their father had the plan, and he just kept implementing the plan, and it took them where they needed to, up to a certain point. Because reality kicks in, right? You can't predict everything. You can't control everything. And when it seems right, when it makes sense, you detour from the plan a bit. You let life and reality sink in to see what happens. Last thought. Last thought. I was thinking about I should have done my research first. All right, I finally got it. I gotta edit the shit out of that. Damn. Anyway, the last thought. That was like 5 minutes. Felt like a lifetime. The last thought, I was thinking about this. I went out for a run, and it was snowing, and it felt good, and it was nice, and it was relaxing, comforting, rejuvenating. So I like being out when there's a medium between me and the sky, like through rain or through snow. And I think it comes from that initial beach experience in 2014. High vibrational. It's high vibrational. But anyway, I was thinking about hot streaks and thinking about in the last match, Venus Williams versus Aranta Sanchez Vicario. Let's start off a bit slow, and she came back. She started whooping ass. Then Sanchez psyched out. And she started spazzing, cursing in Spanish. And then she went to the bathroom for like, what, 15 minutes? God knows, I don't even know how long. So Venus had the hot streak. She had the energy. She was going for it. She was moving. She was dominating. And the cowardly move, right? When you put someone else's, you're breaking that confidence. You're allowing their body to cool down. Now they have to reset because it's difficult to stay focused. So initially, Venus is on the court. She's moving around. She's bobbing up and down on the hill, the ball of her feet. She's moving, she's swinging the racket around a little bit. And as time just keeps adding up. And eventually she slows down. And eventually she just stops. She's just standing around. Just waiting. And you see the excitement and the energy drained from her. You see the confidence draining. And eventually, she takes a seat. And when you, from my belief, when you take the seat, right? For me, it's like being at work. Unless I'm tired, I'm not gonna sit. I'm gonna work. I'm there to work. I'm there to kind of get in the zone and get this done with as soon as possible. I think on a competitive level, right? When Michael Jordan is hot, you don't take him out the game. He don't need time. He don't need timeout. He don't need rest. He's energized. His confidence is there. And the thought is realizing that a hot streak is really just confidence aligning with your skill level. Adrenaline is rushing. The muscle memory. It's perfectly aligned. It's all there. You've been training for this. You've been training for this for years. And your confidence is just, I got this. I know I got this. Believe in it and believe in it. It's not just saying it. It's saying it, believing it, feeling it, and embodying it. That's the high streak. That's what allows you to keep going on and on and on and doing what you need to. It's easy to fluke. It's easy to fluke. You could be confident, but be mediocre. right? You might win sometimes, you might lose. There's no most likely, right? If you're up against a skilled player, you're gonna lose. But being confident and having a skill level, right? Confiding in yourself, believing in your skill level. It's not luck. I talked about not believing in luck. Luck is just your natural instincts and believing in your natural instincts. Never second guessing yourself. Never doubting yourself for a second. I think it, I actualize it, because I've been doing it in practice for years. I've been doing this for years. I've been working toward this. I've been training. I've been conditioning to complete this act. I do it and it goes. Like Steph Curry, right? He embodies hot streaks. His life is a hot streak with them threes, right? Just skill and confidence. And it works. But the minute Venus sat down, she accepted the opponent setting the tone and condition for the match now. That's what it is. If you honor yourself, right? You honor yourself. I talk about honoring yourself. If you start with the mindset of I'm not sitting, I'm never gonna sit, and you never sit. You stay ready. Maybe that, like, I don't know what the sport has become after that, but maybe it's I don't know. You do. I was thinking like you do clinics, right? Like you do sprints. You warm up. You walk around the court. You keep your body moving. Stay loose. Stay focused. You stay in the game. You were there. You were the one setting the tone and condition, and then you transfer that energy to them. They did it knowingly. That was their intent. They did it knowingly. They knew what they were planning to do, and they did it, and it worked. And it worked because you accepted their ability to change the moment. Unfortunately, Venus accepted it. And we all do in life, right? I think that's the greatest scheme of things when it comes to dishonoring yourself. And it doesn't have to be competitive. Just be regular human interaction. Knowing that you're not honoring yourself, and knowing that you're letting someone else set the condition for who you want to be and how you want to exist. Honor your word to yourself. Earlier this month, Eric and I took a road trip to Palm Springs. And it's nice. It's she's a good road trip buddy, partner, friend, all of that. Doesn't mind driving, doesn't mind sharing work and responsibility. We were both open to stopping and taking in the views. She brought me to the Grand Canyon, which I was grateful for. Like being wild is weird for me. Like I need to take it all in. Like on one aspect, I'm being present and just observing. Like I'm being present and observing the vastness of it all. Because I'm being subjective. I'm just looking at the subject and taking it in. Because it's big. That shit big. I was following a helicopter, like, and just thinking about the size of the helicopter to the backdrop. That shit big. um, so like, Erica asked me how was it. I'm like, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. And I did a TikTok video. I'm like, yo, out here getting Canyon, it's cool, it's dope. Like I need to process. I need a process, and that's part of my emotional challenge of not being able to emote within the moment because I'm processing like a robot, like a fucking robot, like a robot. I'm a robot. I know I'm a robot. The second time going to Palm Springs with her for work, we stopped in Santa Fe. Um, I forgot when we stopped at. We stopped at St. George, Utah. We stopped at Flagstaff, which was cool. I threw up outside the hot tub, which was fun. We had this nice big heavy dinner. We go in the hot tub, and we got an Airbnb, and she's like, "You don't like feel lightheaded while you're in there because of the heat?" I'm like, "Nah, just like I don't think about it." And then like her bringing it up, I started thinking about it. Started thinking about it, and I got up from the water. It was cold outside. It was like 30 outside, maybe less. I just got up and I'm sitting on the edge of the hot tub. Yeah, and I don't feel good. I don't feel good. I don't feel good. I feel a rush of blood. I can't catch my breath as well. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm going to throw up. And I know what throwing up feels like from, all the years of drinking. So I step out and I just try to throw up as far away from the hot tub as I can. And I'm looking at it and it's just like pizzas of like meat. Like this, like the shit ain't not just, the shit ain't break down at all. It's just hard and hard. It's hardy, it's hardy, it's hardy. I was thinking of being in a hot tub and like the food, my body temperature rising and the food just boiling and bubbling inside my stomach. And we got the Palm Springs. Palm Springs, nice, interesting little tropical city. But everywhere I go, I always just think about there are no small towns that black people or maybe feeling, I haven't traveled the country, but feeling like there aren't any small towns that black people manage. Like I guess outside of the South, right? It's like a small town of just black people, or a small town where the majority of people you see there, like a vacation place for black people, outside of Miami. I don't know. I know I'm not saying it right also, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the way the segregation is, and it's also me in the places I go to. But the thought in Palm Springs was seeing like Latin American workers, and granted, I see them everywhere. But it's seeing them I can see them like work together in like family aspect. Like there was obviously like a young kid, so someone there was probably his uncle, his father, or brother, and it's seeing them have like this. It's working together to help break down an event that I helped work, and thinking about and comparing the Latin American working experience to the African American working experience historically and present day. Slavery was the majority of work and labor came from Africans and African Americans who were slaves. But in present day, I mean, realistically, I say the blue collar aspect of this country is a lot of it is on the back of Latin American workers. Just think about all everyday restaurants you go to, everyday upkeep you see, like the gardening. Oh, like if it really feels like all the small things that keep society, that fuel capitalism. I guess I feel like they're the hands behind it. And again, not taking away from what the black experience is and the trillions of dollars and all of that, but knowing that there's something unique and different about it. I'm seeing them work, and I'm working. I'm thinking about the experience, thinking about the different experiences of what this job is. And a realization, right? Thinking about being thinking about work, like doing manual labor work and doing it for wealthy people, rich people, wealthy people. And in one aspect, it feels like the Latin American work culture doesn't, like, they don't care, right? It's just do the job, you go and do the next job, and that's just what it is. Within the black experience, right, it feels like there's air for like resentment and air for some type of hate. It's hating, right? Hating. Yeah, that's what it is. And I think on one aspect, no. The realization is that it's different for the Latin American experience because they have their culture to go back to at the end of the day. No matter what they do, no matter who they work for, they have their own unique culture based on their religion, their country, their individual cultures, their family that they go back to at the end of the day. They have their traditions. They have their respected social hierarchy. I was thinking about working at Italy, and there was the maintenance and also like the dishwashing back of house staff. A lot of them were Latin American. And there was one dude who was like, oh, head honcho, anything you needed, you talk to him. Anything you needed, you talk to him, he get it done for you. Like within 15 minutes. Like he was connected with everyone. And just thinking about the hierarchy, thinking about being in other jobs and never seeing that community aspect within groups of black people. And not saying that it needs to be, but just thinking about, respecting there always being one person that everyone respects and goes to. The African American experience, it's a it's 24/7 a lived American experience. It's 24/7. Like I said, the height of the black experience is chasing whiteness. You go to work, go through the process of life, and there's no escape, right? TV shows you watch, books you read, it's all still rooted within whiteness. And I was thinking about language, and how damaging and parasitic language is. And this is something that I think evolved from, not even evolved, but really came to mind after playing Metal Gear Solid, Phantom Pain. There's a villain who talks about language being parasitic, and once you inject your language to another culture's, you have a greater ability to control them. So I think about the English language and how even speaking English, right? It's not your native language. It's still accepting and chasing whiteness, right? The last names, the victim of capitalism. So it's all rooted in whiteness. It's all rooted in oppression. Thinking about Ebonics and how other languages are allowed to have different dialects. I was thinking about Haitian Creole and Haitian Creole English. Thinking about, speaking with my mother, and her English isn't high school level English. Not in an insulting way, just, she speaks what works. Eric and I were watching something earlier this month, and I was like, "Pay the money." I don't know where that came from. And I said like a weird, funny accent. And earlier today, I was thinking about that, thinking about language, and thinking about like that's something like my mother would say if she was saying like, the man, he don't pay the money. And it's thinking about that being patois, like Haitian, like the English that Haitians speak for a lot of the times, and it's end up being patois, right? Pay the money, man, right? It's all the same, it's all the same, it's all the same, it's all the same. Latin Americans, they get to escape. They get to speak Spanish. They speak Spanish at home. They speak Spanish. And just thinking about this, the ever-present awareness that there's something, a lot, that what you're chasing isn't feasible because you've been chasing the wrong thing all along, and not including myself, but just the experience. The experience has been chasing the wrong thing. I watched The Wiz for the first time last week. It's a phenomenal movie. But at some point I realized I'm just watching Alice in Wonderland, and I don't like Alice in Wonderland. Excuse me, Alice in Wonderland. I was watching. Oh man, I don't like Alice in Wonderland either. I'm just watching The Wizard of Oz, and I don't like The Wizard of Oz. I'm thinking about, we're talking about whitewashing things from a cultural perspective. Whitewashing, like they whitewashed the actors. They're supposed to be Egyptian. They're supposed to be this, but they just put a white actor in. But I think that there's also blackwashing, right? There's gender washing. There's forcing, right? Diversity. Like Michael B. Jordan is gonna be a black Superman. Cool. I get it. I get it. But how many Superman movies are there? We know the story. 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 Is it a black Krypton? And if so, how is it different from white Krypton? What's the point? What's the point? What is he really representing on the screen? I saw this tweet early last year about Gabrielle Union and Sterling K. Brown, I believe his name is, doing like a Friends, a special Friends recast, all black cast. I'm like, who are they marketing this to? Black people don't want to see what why do black people want to see black Friends cast, and why would white people want to see a black Friends cast? That didn't make sense. Why would black people want to see Friends recast with black people? Why would white people want to see Friends recast with black people? Who does that serve? Who does that serve? And people again misunderstanding this. There was a black Friends. It was called Living Single. I know that. I know that. It's not the question again. Not the question again. People just have a need to talk. People just have a need to talk. I don't need to talk. I want to talk. I talk when I want to talk. I don't need to talk. I did a TikTok video talking about going to feline rescue and seeing a poster about declawing the cats being inhumane. And I was playing with one of the kittens, and it had like a little incision. Like, they spayed her. So I went online, looked at what I wanted to confirm what spaying and neutering was. I was chopping off the balls. Actually, let me get the right definition. Yeah, spaying is removing the ovaries and uterus of a female animal. Neutering, having undeveloped or non-functional. For a dog. Come on. Yeah, castration. Surgical removal of a dog's testicles. And wondering, how is that not inhumane? If declawing is inhumane, and so is spaying and neutering. But people just came in the comments and were just saying what the difference between the two is. Or they were saying, declawing is unhealthy for cats. It's not the question. Not the question. But anyway. Again, people just sometimes you don't have to talk. You don't have to say something. Silence works just as well. But anyway, the experience feels like an endless battle, like an endless chase. Because there's no standard to escape to. Right, where you gonna go? I don't know what it looks like. And I understand that part of it is my bias and being aware of the duality of things being black and white, and knowing that that's part of my lived experience and how I perceive things. But also, there's an awareness that one side is still limited, and knowing that, and the representation matters, knowing that without an individual culture, there is no freedom. Hip hop is the dominant global culture. It is the dominant global culture. The black experience is the dominant global culture. Thinking about rap, hip hop respectfully is dead, but rap will live on. Rap will always rap. Hip hop was the culture. Hip hop was the culture. Hip hop was rap. It was graffiti. It was MCing, DJing, beatboxing. There was an energy. There was an awareness of what it was and what it was supposed to represent. That's dead now. It's just rap. It's mumble rap, right? It's not mumble hip hop. It's just mumble rap. But it's dead. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. And I was listening to an XXXTentacion song. Someone made a reference to A Bebe, Hurricane Chris, I believe. A Bebe. I'm thinking about, and I was thinking about, Southern rap is dominant, right? Every relevant and current form of hip hop is Southern inspired. I was thinking about A Bebe, thinking about what mumble rap is, thinking about what rap lyrics, what rap choruses were in like the 90s, and how they just started transitioning into repetitive words, repetitive sentences. Hey, baby, oh, I think she like me. Walk it out, right? Just repeat the same word, repeat the same word, repeat the same word. Some repeat motion. And then that transitioned into simplifying people's desire and how in consuming shorter lyrics and less complex lyrics. And also thinking about just the overall attention span of what's in society, right? Thinking about how TikTok and Instagram Reels work. I think human attention span is less than 7 seconds now. But seeing how it all kind of coincides, and thinking that it's been destructive. It is what it is, right? On one aspect, art is art. It is what it is. But the other side of it is it's been destructive because it's become the dominant form of rap. And the dominant form conditions the future generation. It's been simplified. Southern hip hop has simplified rap. And this isn't taken away from the always ever-present reality that there are whole different aspects, and there are Southern rappers who have bars upon bars upon bars. But the overall collective experience is simplicity. That's where we are as a global society also. We're simple-minded now. Going back into tribes. Tribalism is simplicity. Tribalism is being simple-minded. So as the dominant influencer of culture, I mean, I don't know, right? Because it's like, is it just it feels like the onset. It feels like the onset. Feels like the onset. Had a whole nother thought that I lost. I don't I don't I don't know where it goes. I don't know where it goes. Without, I said, without culture, there is no freedom. Without an individual culture, there is no freedom. And I don't think that culture, different groups try to advance the culture. Right? There's so many. The issue is the monolithic conglomerate of blackness, right? Of all blacks, of all forms of blackness being the same. But knowing that within blackness, being within the black experience, knowing that there are different types, there's different types, and knowing that it's all okay, acknowledging that the blurs, black nerds exist. You have someone like Neil deGrasse Tyson being at the forefront of something like that, even though I don't, from what I've read, he doesn't really acknowledge race being important to him, I guess. You have new waves of inspiration. Serena and Venus Williams, Issa Rae, Insecure. I think Gerard Carmichael definitely. Um, there's a if there's a small and unique, I feel like, patch of black American actors who are doing their thing, but a lot of it feels like it's actors from like the UK. I ain't got nothing. I'm out. Peace. I'm out.